theme of conscience is a huge area that Newman had a major contribution to in many ways. And so many people refer to Newman's notion of conscience, and sometimes, unfortunately, some of what he said about conscience tends to be taken out of context. Newman was very nuanced on it. So many people in the modern day life, they pick that famous quotation where he says that we toast the Pope, but if it was down to a choice between toasting the Pope or toasting your conscience, that he would choose conscience. And that was only one little part of his reflection on conscience. For Newman, the whole sense of conscience was a very important area. It was a sort of a dialogue that was there between oneself and one's God, a very sacred area. And he spoke widely about having an informed conscience, and that for him was so important. And he uses the term in that letter to the Duke of Norfolk that conscience is the aboriginal vicar of Jesus Christ. So for anybody to make a decision on anything, it's not just an individual decision that you make without looking at all the facts, looking at the background, looking at the context. So if you're making an informed moral decision, you look at the situation, obviously. You look at what is there in the revelation of your faith, what is there in the magisterium, what is there in terms of how theologians will interpret it, how we believe we should respond to that. And then you come to your own individual decision to decide whether you're going to assent or not to that. So it's a very sacred kind of a relationship that is there in the center of your heart, and something that you need to look deeply into your heart, having gone out and informed that conscience deeply. So that was Newman's sense of it, and some people look at that very narrowly, and it's so well worthwhile reading that chapter again in the letter to the Duke of Norfolk to get a broad sense of that, because it is a huge issue for us today in the whole sphere of education, the whole sphere of life, and in the whole sphere of the practice of our religion indeed.